What is up everyone, it's the Munch, and today's video is going to be a little different than what I normally do on this channel. We're going to be discussing the Pokemon fan game community and specifically something quite tragic that happened yesterday, and that is the news that Relic Castle has been taken down by a third party representing Pokemon Company. So in case you don't know, Relic Castle was a forum where you could host your Pokemon fan games or talk about other Pokemon fan games. Now, the reason I decided to talk about this is because Pokemon fan games are pretty much my bread and butter here on the channel. I guess I'm more well known for like the official Pokemon game playthroughs, but I would bet at least half of you guys watching this right now first found my channel through some kind of Pokemon fan game playthrough or video. And with this most recent takedown of Relic Castle, it feels like the very nature of Pokemon fan games might be in trouble. So I wanted to give my thoughts about it and get you guys' thoughts as well about this whole situation and what it could mean for the future of Pokemon. Hello, Cheese. You decided to join in on the discussion? So let's begin with the original post from Relic Castle. I'll just read it word for word and explain as we go along. It is with heavy heart that I announce Relic Castle website has been taken down following a DMCA takedown notice. And although they don't specify who issued the DMCA takedown in this post, I did a little bit of digging and found this Q&A on the official Relic Castle Discord, which is still active, by the way. If you want to keep following Relic Castle, definitely check out their Discord in the description. Number one, the website was backed up and sent to one of the creators right before it was taken down, so nothing has been truly lost, and you can actually still access the website through the Wayback Machine, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. But number two is the important one here. TPCI, which stands for the Pokemon Company International, should not be contacted as it was a third party who's authorized by the Pokemon Company to supply DMCAs. So even though they say it wasn't the Pokemon Company itself, it seems that Pokemon hired a third party to issue this DMCA, which is quite strange for a number of reasons. One of which is right here on the second paragraph. Relic Castle has always been a non-profit, ad-free, tight-knit community. Non-profit and ad-free, those are the two key words here, because Pokemon fan games, as you know, or at least most of them, don't aim to make any money whatsoever. Now, of course, this isn't the first DMCA takedown Pokemon has done against fan games before. A while back, you might remember Pokemon Uranium was taken down from the official website because developers wanted to respect Nintendo's wishes after learning other sites that offered the download received DMCA takedowns. But this was just one game. This time they took down the entire community, which begs the question, why? Going back to the Q&A on their Discord, we can read a little bit more details. Number 3 here says, the DMCA was on the entire site for using unauthorized copies of copyrighted material. So again, I decided to do a little digging and I found out that Relic Castle was one of the main websites hosting Pokemon Essentials, which if you don't know is basically a custom version of RPG Maker, which itself is a software you can purchase on Steam to create your own RPG. And this Pokemon Essentials pack is what was used to make so many of the most popular, best fan games out there, like Pokemon Uranium, Pokemon Insurgents, Pokemon Reborn. All of them use Pokemon Essentials. So I'm wondering if this might be what got their website taken down, because as I was reading more into Pokemon Essentials, I came across this fan game website, which might not be exactly credible, but it says here that Pokemon Essentials was taken down by Nintendo in 2017. Which is weird because on the Relic Castle site, there was a download link for the latest version of Pokemon Essentials as recently as July last year. It feels to me that this would be the most likely thing that got Relic Castle in trouble, quote unquote, because the Pokemon Essentials pack does have a bunch of assets owned by Pokemon within it, like I mentioned sound effects, music, sprites, and they were hosting a direct download link to it, as opposed to a few other websites like the wiki says they cannot provide any download links to Pokemon Essentials. So I'm really not sure what this could mean for the future of Pokemon fan games. I mean, I know that Relic Castle at least, you can still access through the Wayback Machine, which if you don't know is a website where you can view old versions of, well, other websites. So you can still check out all of the projects that were hosted on Relic Castle through the Wayback Machine, which at the very least, I'm glad that so many people's hard work and effort hasn't been completely erased, because Relic Castle was the #1 place to go if you wanted to play Pokemon fan games. It is with deep regret that I inform you the forum part of this community, which was about to turn 10 years old, has had to come to an end. With over 20,000 member and 65,000 posts, Relic Castle was home to many of us. Throughout my many years of playing Pokemon fan games, I've met so many amazing developers, sound designers, sprite makers that have gone on to create amazing games that also allow them to make a living. But they all started with these grassroots passion projects based on a franchise they love, and it just makes me wonder why Pokemon wants them gone. I think it's very, very rare for someone to find a Pokemon fan game and not know what like the main Pokemon games are. Like, I can see the argument that maybe some people might get confused what's official and what isn't, and maybe that can be a little bit of a gray area, but anytime you boot up a Pokemon fan game, the very first thing it says is this is a non-profit fan-made work, making it very clear it's not like an official Pokemon licensed product. As a Pokemon YouTuber, I've always felt very privileged in the fact that I can monetize my videos based on Pokemon fan games, but sometimes if a company feels the wrong way, they can just take your video down and threaten your livelihood as a YouTuber. So let's wind back a couple of days, because this isn't actually the first DMCA takedown Pokemon have done this week alone, which is insane to me. A few days ago, the immensely popular YouTuber and streamer Noah J was striked by Pokemon for a COD Zombies mod because it featured content owned by Pokemon like Pikachu, Gengar, Meowth, and Mewtwo. And this is like an actual copyright strike, which if you get 3 of those, if you don't know, your YouTube channel gets deleted. For a video made 7 years ago, which is probably the most insane part to me. Like, why are they choosing to go after these videos now? At first, people thought maybe it had to do with Pokemon wanting to maintain a family-friendly image, because there was that whole Palworld incident a while back. A YouTuber made a mod where he put Pokemon into Palworld, and that immediately got shut down. Like, it didn't even last a day as far as I remember. So I guess when this takedown happened, most of the community assumed it had to do with the fact that it's guns with Pokemon, like they don't want their characters associated with violence. But regardless, the fact that this video was up for so long and now they're choosing to take it down is very, very questionable to me. I don't know, this is all just so messy, and I hope that they can provide some kind of clarity. Like, if they had a guidelines, kind of like they did for their most recent Pokemon Direct, they released an official statement about co-streaming, or basically reacting live to the Pokemon Direct. Like, if they did something like this for fan games or just Pokemon fan projects in general, I feel like that would help out so many people, make it more clear what's okay and what isn't. Because copyright striking a 7-year-old video sure makes it seem like you guys were okay with it until some random new intern got hired and was like, yeah, I'm gonna just take down all these channels today. You don't see them taking down all that Lopunny x Lucario fan art, you know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think of this whole situation. And if you see my channel disappear in the next couple of days, well, you know exactly who did it.